Wisp Sports Radio, the voice of women in sport.
Hello, and thank you for downloading The Bolder Woman on Wisp Sports. This is Season 1, Episode 12, and I'm Chris Stafford.
You've tamed the voices in your head. You've put your courage to the test. Laid all your doubts to rest. Your mind is clearer than before. Your heart is full and wanting more. Your future's at the door. Give it all you got, no hesitating. You've been waiting all your life.
Our guest today is Californian Laura Val, who is a master swimmer who has clocked up some 360 world records, no less, which is more than any other master swimmer. In one race meet, Laura, when she turned 60, which was 8 years ago, broke 6 world records, and they were the 50 metres, the 100 metres, 200 metres, 400 metres, 800 metres, and 1500 metres, becoming the first woman ever to do so. In 1984, she joined a master swimming team and went to her first nationals in 1987, where she broke 5 national records. In 2016, Laura broke the world record in the 200 metres, 400 metres and 800 metres freestyles on her way to the world record in the 1500 metres at a meet at the San Francisco Olympic Club. Laura has been inducted into the International Swimming Hall of Fame and the International Masters Swimming Hall of Fame. She has also graced the cover of numerous magazines, including the Swimming World magazine, Swimmer magazine, and Swim magazine. She says, "I started as a kid at a local team. When I was about 10 years old, my mum got my 4 sisters and me into swimming. I instantly fell in love with it and was pretty successful from the start. I just loved it and everything about it." And she thanks her mum for encouraging her to start swimming. Laura, thank you for joining me and welcome to the program.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Now, you're a busy lady, full-time nurse still. Tell us a little bit about where you are and what you do as a day job.
I live in Northern California, and I've been a nurse for, 40 some odd years. I used to work in hospital nursing, bedside nursing, ICU, that type. And in the last 15 years, I've been in management. I went back to school, got my master's degree, and I'm now in healthcare management, and I manage a surgical department in Northern California.
But you make the swimming fit into, it seems to be that it works for your lifestyle and for your job to go training. How often do you get away? When do you train? Because you often hear of swimmers getting up at the crack of dawn, dark 30 to go swimming. Do you do that?
Yeah, I'm in the pool at 6 a.m. every morning. So I get my swimming in before work. So my alarm goes off at 5. I'm in the pool at 6. I swim till 7:30. And I'm at work by 8:30, and that's kind of my routine, has been for quite a while now.
How many days of the week do you do that, Laura?
Well, I work 5 days a week, so I do it Monday through Friday. And then on the weekends, I also swim on the weekends. We have a workout, so I swim, I don't get up quite as early on the weekends, but I do swim on the weekends.
Now, is this important to you, obviously, to maintain your level of competitiveness, to have that kind of regime? Do you feel that it's essential to be that intense in your training now?
Yeah, I don't think of it as just being intense in my training. I just think of it as part of my routine. I love to swim, and I love to compete, but mostly I just love to swim. So I get up in the morning and I do the workout and I go about my day. So it's just part of a busy day. On the weekends, I swim, usually the workout's at 9 o'clock. I'm done by 10 and I can go on and have start my weekend. So it helps me feel like I maintain my competitive edge. But it's also something that I would do even if I didn't compete, just because I love to swim.
And what does that routine look like? Do you vary it each day?
The swimming? Well, I have a coach, and swim with the swim team. So they give us a workout every day, and I just do the workout. I don't ask any questions. I just do what they give us. I swim about, right now we're going long course meters, and like this morning I swam about 4,500 meters, which is about typical. Sometimes it's a little less, sometimes it's a little bit more. We always do like a warm-up set that's about 1,000 to 1,200, and then we do a kick set, swim set, a pull set, and then some sprints at the end. It ends up going for about an hour and a half, and like I said, about 4,500. So that's a typical workout for me.
Yeah, that's a lot of swimming. It seems to me a lot of swimming, but obviously necessary to maintain the level of fitness and competitiveness that you have. Do you do any other training at all, Laura? Any cross-training involved?
I've never done cross-training, but last year a friend of mine gave me a gym membership, and never been to the gym. I'm not a gym rat. So I went to the gym and started doing a little bit of gym work, just like one day a week, because I just don't find the time. I would much rather swim than go to the gym. So like maybe on a Sunday afternoon or a Saturday afternoon, I started going to the gym and not really knowing what I was doing, but look on the side of the machine and seeing a picture of somebody with muscles and thinking, I want those. And so hop on that machine and do what it says to do. So without any real training, I go to the gym just to do a little something different sometimes.
How often would you compete then?
Oh, I compete? I would say during the summer, I have a competition at least once a month, sometimes twice a month. During the winter, obviously not as often, but I do have a meet that I go to in December, and then they start up again in about March, a couple in March, a couple in April. So I compete a lot. I love to compete. I just think it's a validation of your workouts. So I love to compete, see where I am.
Yeah, exactly. Measures where you are too, doesn't it, in training?
Exactly.
And now, in terms of your competitiveness and your motivation now, it seems that that's not faded with age and time.
No, I think my competitiveness is a little bit inborn. I don't think it's going to ever go away. I love to challenge myself. I love to be the best I can be, and sometimes you have to work really hard to get that, to reach that goal. And I like working hard, and I like doing better than the last time I did it. So, and obviously as you age, you're not going to do the times you were doing 10 years ago, but I like to see how close I can come, and I try not to get discouraged. I try to put everything in perspective. That I'm still doing it. I'm still healthy. I'm still winning. So these are all good things, and I am aging, but so is everybody else.
Exactly. We're all in this together, aren't we?
We're all in this together, absolutely.
So when you look at your times then over a period of time, Laura, have you noticed that the seconds are adding a little bit there, or over particular distances? What does it actually look like when you measure it over time?
Well, sometimes I come pretty close to times I've done 10 years ago, and sometimes I'm way off. Last year I swam in a meet in Florida, and my times were as good as I had swum 10 years earlier. And no rhyme, no reason. I just had, maybe it was a faster pool. Maybe I had a better suit on. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I was more nervous and I got a little bit more of an adrenaline rush. I don't know exactly why, but once in a while I surprise myself and throw out a time that I haven't done in years. And it's really good. It's a great feeling. It's like all this hard work or something's working.
So you still get a kick out of the adrenaline, then the nervous anticipation, the excitement, maybe just nerves, competition nerves. So that still fires you up.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's what it's all about. Yeah, if you don't get nervous, you're not going to perform your best. I think that adrenaline rush is kind of cool. It's like a free drug. It gets your heart going and gets you, excited. And I I love feeling the excitement of a good race.
So you're still motivated then to break records as you get older. Presumably there's still records in front of you to be broken. And the way you keep clocking these up, you hold, what, over 360 world records at the moment? I mean, where do you go from here?
Well, of course, every time you age up, there's a new set of records.
Mm-hmm.
So when I turn 70 in 2 years, because I'm 68 for FINA this year, so there'll be a whole new set of records that I'll be shooting at. So that's always fun to do. Yeah, I enjoy breaking records because it means that you've done something that nobody's done before. So it's kind of cool.
So when you look at the records that you have, and some days you collect records just for fun, it seems that there's not just one record to be had. There are a few in any one day or any one meet. What means the most to you at this point in your swimming career, Laura?
Doing bettering myself. Doing something that I haven't done in a long time. Swimming an event that might be an off event and doing a great time, or doing a time that I haven't done in a couple of years. I think that's mostly what motivates me is I look at my times. It's mostly what gets me nervous is trying to do my best times, and times that I'm really proud of. I like it when people tell me that they think I'm fast, and not just fast for my age, but they think I'm fast, and I like that.
Yeah, I imagine that's very rewarding. But this is something you've been doing for so many years now. You started when you were a child. I think you credited your mother with encouraging you to go to the pool and give this a go. And you were competitive right from the start, it seems. You found your natural niche there as a swimmer.
I did. My mom, I had 4 sisters. I have 4 sisters, and she put all 5 of us in swimming lessons. And then on the local swim team, and I just loved it from day one. I mean, I can still remember day one, and I loved it from the start. My sisters, not so much. They all participated, but they didn't keep it up like I did. I just loved it. I just found something that was very rewarding for me from the start. And I went on. I was 10 years old when I started. And then I went on and went to the Olympic trials in 1968, U.S. Olympic trials. And I made the Olympic trials in 1972, although I didn't go. I quit just before the trials. So that's when I quit what was called AAU swimming at that time. And then took a break and got married and had a couple of kids and started my career. And then went back to masters swimming when I was about 33 and been doing it ever since.
So you will have swum in different pools around the world as well as in the U.S. Talk about some of those meets that really have been the memorable ones, the ones that you will always treasure.
Gosh, the World Championships are always really fun and rewarding. We get to see, competitors and friends from all over the world, and I've made so many friends from so many different countries, and we get together every 2 years. And we've been to Montreal, we've been to Italy, we've been to, the last World Championships was in Hungary and at Budapest, and it was an amazing experience, just the best time ever. I just love these trips. I mean, they all end up being vacations for me with a week of swimming in there, and it's amazing. It's this group of people, these swimmers, are just the best. It's so much fun. I can't tell you how much fun it is.
And how did you choose which strokes? Because you have so many to choose from in swimming. Did you find the one that came most natural to you, or did you just want to try them all and be adept at all of them?
Yes, I don't think you choose strokes. I think they choose you. Because I don't swim breaststroke because my feet don't point out that way, and everything else just came kind of natural to me and easy. Although butterfly's not as easy as it used to be, but it was a lot easier when I was younger. But I think that you know, your body build and the way you're built. You're built for certain strokes. At least that's what I found. There's certain things I can't do, and there's certain things I'm better at. So
which do you most enjoy?
It changes. Like right now, I'm very much into backstroke. I would say 5 years ago, I would consider myself a butterflyer, and before that, it was probably freestyle. So it changes, and I can't tell you what makes it change, but every so often it kind of changes. I think, gosh, my freestyle's feeling really good right now, and all of a sudden I become a freestyler. But I still do it all. I like to do it all. I like to do everything, a little bit of everything. I like to do the short stuff. I'll do the distance stuff. I'll do some open water. So it's kind of a smorgasbord of events, and try and be as good as you can at all of them.
Well, I was going to ask you about the distances, because it seems to me that, like with athletics, you get the distance that suits you and you stick with that distance. It could be short, it could be middle distance or long distance, but you do everything.
I try. Yeah, I don't enjoy the distance as much as I enjoy the short stuff, but I did a race when I turned 60 that I swam. It was a 1,500 meter race, and I just aged up. So I broke the world record in the 50, the 100, the 200, the 400, the 800, and the 1,500 in that one race. So that was kind of, when you ask what races or what meets are exciting for me, that was probably one of the pinnacles of my career, in that I set 6 world records in one race, and that was really fun. It was really fun to do.
Well, now you must be meeting the same people, especially in California, where you're probably competing the most at home. The same swimmers. Now, are there any that you find most challenging, that really drive you now to, stay as competitive, and you just want to beat them?
Well, anybody in my age group, I try to stay on top. If there's anybody in my age group that's close to me, it gets my adrenaline going, of course. And then in workout, I always race the boys, and they're always fun to beat. And actually in workout, anybody younger than me, it's always fun to beat them too.
Do you? I imagine there's a particular satisfaction with beating people younger than you. Now, what about coaching? Do you have time or interest in coaching at all?
No, I don't have time. But when my children were younger, I did coach. I was able to work a shift where I was done at 4:00, so I coached an evening workout that my kids were on a team. It was just a small summer league team, but I wanted my kids to be exposed to swimming and competitive swimming, and they weren't interested in doing, any big time swimming. So it was like a summer league, little country club type thing. And I coached that for probably about 4 or 5 years, and they loved it. And it was great. My kids learned their strokes, and they learned how to compete, and they made really good friends, and they had their first jobs at the pool. And now my kids swim masters, actually, and so it was good for them.
Are you very strict about diet, about nutrition, Laura? Is it something you've had to work on, or you just choose to be disciplined about it?
That's a good question. I'm better than I used to be. When I was younger, I would eat just about anything as long as I, maintain my weight, which I've always been pretty thin. And then as I got older, I realized that just being thin isn't the goal. The goal is to eat healthy. So I've been really, I would say probably the last 15 years, I've been more concerned about eating healthy. And I don't eat a lot of, sweets or fats or anything. I try to maintain a high protein, low fat diet. That's kind of what I think of, like no diets, no donuts and things like that. And when I was younger, I didn't think about that as much as I probably should have.
Now, what about strength? As we get older, it becomes more important to maintain a level of strength or core strength. Now, is this something that you're very mindful of when you're swimming? Does that keep you strong enough? Or you don't have to do anything else? Or you don't have to go to the gym to do it? Or do you do something like Pilates or yoga for core strength?
Yeah, no, I don't do anything like Pilates or yoga, although I do take a protein supplement. And it's called P to Life, and I think it's for swimmers. It's made by swimmers, and it has added protein so that it's like a recovery drink, and I take it every single day. I think that obviously as you age, you lose muscle, and I don't have a lot of time to go to the gym and lift weights and do all that, and so all I do is swim, and I take the protein supplement. I think that helps. I think it's helped me maintain my muscle mass to some degree. I think we all lose as we age, of course.
Yes, and with any athlete, there seems to be, the injuries that plague us along the way. Have you had any long-term injuries that have gotten in your way at all? Any swimmers' injuries?
I'm going to knock on wood right now because no, I have not. I've been very, very fortunate. I don't know why, but I haven't had the shoulder problems that a lot of swimmers get. I've had occasional, like a twinge, shoulder twinge here and there, but I never had surgery. I've never had a cortisone shot in my arm. Been really lucky there. I have some back issues that are probably because of being a nurse for 40 years. I think lifting patients and having patients fall on you and things like that. I think most nurses, when they reach my age, have some back issues, but nothing that keeps me out of the water so far. So I've been very, very fortunate.
Swimming's been very good to you then?
Absolutely, 100%. It's been the best thing ever. I just think my mom, my mom's gone now, but boy, I still appreciate her putting me into swimming and being my number one support. And yeah, swimming's been very, very good to me.
Well, let's look ahead to the year in front of us here, Laura, and the competitions that you're going to be tackling. What will be the big ones that you're looking forward to?
Well, there's a World Championship this year in August, which is in Korea, but we're not going to be going to that. We decided it's the same time as our national championships, which is in Mission Viejo. So we're going to forgo the World Championships this year and go to the Mission Viejo Nationals. So that's going to be our big competition for the summer. And then in the fall, we have our short course meters championships, which is at City of Commerce, which is in the LA area. We go to that every year. So those are the two big that we focus on this year. Other than that, we don't have anything big. We have some local competitions coming up and a couple of open water swims, but those are the two big competitions.
So do you enjoy the open water as much as you do the pool?
Not as much as I do the pool, but I do like it. It's something different. You go out to a big lake and it's, beautiful scenery and it's a nice day, and you do one swim and then you're at the beach basically. So it's really different, but it's a little harder to measure to measure how well you've done. You're just sort of measured by the people you're around and the people you swim against. It's not quite as easy to measure your performance, I think.
And I wonder if open water swimming, as you get older, the cold water affects you any differently. So
far, I haven't had a problem with it.
Interesting. All right. Well, Before you go, I'm going to ask you what you would consider to be your top 3 career highlights, Laura, from what you've achieved with all of those world records. Can you pick 3 career highlights?
Okay, probably induction into the International Swimming Hall of Fame. That obviously is the pinnacle, I think, for any swimmer to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. So I was inducted into International Swimming Hall of Fame and the International Masters Swimming Hall of Fame, 2 Hall of Fames. So that was very, very exciting. They put me on the cover of Swimming World magazine. And I don't think any master swimmer had ever been put on the cover before, to my knowledge. So that was huge to me to be on the cover what I consider to be, the Bible of swimming. And probably the third would be the race where I set 6 world records in one race.
That's pretty impressive to do it in one race. Do you celebrate when you win so many records like this? I mean, do you let your hair down, or are you very disciplined?
I don't think I really celebrated that much. It was just a very cool feeling. It was really fun.
Yeah, I can imagine. What are you most looking forward to now then, having broken so many records and achieved so much in the sport? But what are you really most looking forward to? Is it just the records, or is it staying healthy and enjoying the sport?
No. Yeah, no, it's not about the records. It really isn't about the records. Not at this point. I don't think it's absolutely not about the records. It's about staying healthy and trying to do as well as you can, and trying to maintain. I think maintain, a certain level of fitness. 68 years old, I'll be 68 this year, and I feel like, people say, are you going to retire? And I feel like I still have a lot of energy. I still enjoy my job. I still like my routine. I don't feel like backing off. So if I can maintain this level of fitness and this excitement about swimming and about, life itself, I think it's all good.
Well, it's been a tremendous journey so far, and clearly there's a lot more to come. So we look forward to following you and watching you enjoy the sport as much as break the records, Laura. But thank you for taking the time to come on the show. We really appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
And the very best of luck.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Conversations from the world of women's sports. This is Wisp Sports Radio.
My thanks again to Laura. You can find more information about Laura and photos on the website at wispsports.com. Just go to the Listen tab on the main menu, which drops down to the Bolder Woman. And you'll find more episodes there of amazing women who are still competitive over the age of 50. And if you know of anyone that we should feature here on the show, do drop us a line to info@wispsports.com. You can also follow along and join in the conversation on our social media at Wisp Sports. Until the next time, thank you for listening and supporting women in sport everywhere.
This is your moment.